guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and today, finally, we have balance changes. I know a lot of you guys have been hoping and wishing and praying for this for quite a while now, and it's finally arrived. I think suffice it to say there's going to be a meta shift after all these balance changes hit the game. In today's video, I am not going to give my reaction to every single change. I kind of want to keep things moving, keep it relatively short, and just tell you what's changing. If you want a reaction video, I'll do that in the future for you guys. So let's get right into it. Where else would we be starting other than the Night Witch? The Night Witch is receiving a pretty decent nerf. She's now going to spawn 3 bats instead of 4 after she dies. Also, her spawn speed of the bats in general is going to be reduced, meaning she's going to spawn them less frequently, and that's going to change from 6 seconds to 5 seconds on the spawn speed of the bats. Now, in addition to that, those two things, her initial bats that she spawns when you put her on the arena is going to come slower. How much slower? We don't know yet. I haven't got a chance to actually play the new version of the Night Witch, so we'll have to wait and see. But those are going to be the changes to the Night Witch. Moving on. Tornado, Poison, and Heal. They all stack now. All multiple of the same spell will stack. That's primarily going to affect 2v2 mode, where you get a lot of multiple spells, and they will now stack, meaning they'll do double damage, or they'll have double the effect in the case of Heal. Moving on, we have Tornado. It's receiving a nerf as well. The Tornado duration, how long the spell stays on the arena, is going to change from 3 seconds to 2.5 seconds. So a half a second reduction in the length of the Tornado spell. The Log is receiving a nerf, ladies and gentlemen. It's going from 11.6 tile radius to 11.1 tile radius. So essentially, it is going to be cut down by half a tile as far as how far it will roll. The Log has received a ranged nerf. Speaking of nerfs, the Goblin Gang. There's now the Goblin Gang will now only have 2 spear goblins, not 3, so you'll be getting 3 stab goblins and 2 spear goblins that reduce the count to only 5 units in the Goblin Gang. So 1 less spear goblin for Goblin Gang. Skeleton count has now been reduced again to 3 from previously 4, from previously 3, from previously 4, from previously 3. Make up your mind, Supercell. But seriously, it's true. Skeletons will now be down to 3. Bandit, hit points increased by 4%, and her dash initiates quicker. Again, that's one we'll have to watch to really feel the gravity of how much it impacts the card. But Bandit, you know, she has to go against the Knight, right? That's really tough, and it's sad that a Legendary has that many issues going against a Knight for 3 elixir cost. More HP, just a more robust unit, so this ought to give Bandit a little bit more usage inside the game, some more viability inside a larger discrepancy of decks. So, again, hit points increased by 4, dash initiates quicker. Inferno Dragon, hit points increased by 7%, and he now retargets 1/5 of a second quicker. So 0.2 seconds quicker on the retargeting between targets on the Inferno Dragon, and a really sizable HP increase, 7%. Witch is also receiving a buff. The hit points are going to be increased by 5%. Area damage radius is increased by 10%, and the spawn speed is now faster on the normal Witch. It was 7.5 seconds, now it's every 7 seconds. So a half a second earlier, she will spawn her next skeletons. Now, there was a small nerf to the Witch, but overall it's still a pretty sizable buff. Her initial skeletons will spawn slower, probably to put her in line with her evil sister, the Night Witch, on her initial slower spawn of those bats. So that is going to be the buff to the Witch. The area damage radius should not be discounted. 10% area damage radius is actually pretty large. Remember how much stronger the baby dragon was when it received a radius or damage radius increase buff as well. So a big buff to the Witch. Clone is receiving a buff as well. Clone, my favorite card, guys. The clone is now basically going to act faster. It will faster clone the targets. You know how they kind of separate and it takes a little bit? It takes like a full second or more to quickly separate into 2 units. That's going to be much faster now. So a buff to the clone. Only 2 more, guys. I don't know what number it is, but Battle Ram. Battle Ram is receiving a surprising buff. It's kind of an aesthetical buff, but let me explain. Battle Ram will now, damage that destroys the Battle Ram won't affect the Barbarians anymore. So essentially, if you're destroying the Battle Ram, the Barbarians will still be a fresh, brand new unit, similar to everything else that dies and spawns other units, like a Lava Hound, like a Witch that spawns the bats, or Night Witch, rather, that spawns the bats. They'll be treated as brand new units on the arena. Last but not least, the bats. The bats have received a nerf before they're even out yet, guys. Are you kidding me? What a ripoff. So the bats have had their count decreased to 4 officially. I know there was some confusion. Early dev build screenshots had them originally at 4, then they were increased to 5. Now they're definitely back down to 4. So when bats are released in the game, it will cost 2 elixir and you'll spawn 4 bats. So guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you check out my YouTube partner, Bren Chong, and all his information in the description below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me. I tell you that every video, but I really, truly mean it. So guys, thanks again, and as always, take care, guys.